Okay, take number 5. I was outside trying to film because I'm back in California. And it decided to rain. I got wet. And so I wasn't going to do that. And so I decided I'd get on the bike, exercise, and just listen to a podcast and do the vlog. Not really prepared to, like, I had a whole setup of stuff I was going to talk about and so forth, but this is how it's going to go, folks. It's nice to be back. I miss the free breakfast. Oh my gosh. Having breakfast made for you is such a luxury. I think that's a real thing. It really did decide to rain. I was kind of surprised. It was really quiet this morning and perfect. In watching other YouTube videos about travel and so forth, I wasn't as posh and I wasn't as polished, posh, or professional. I kept on trying to vlog and something just felt off. I arrived everywhere really early. It didn't matter where I was going. I hurt myself again. I don't know if you guys can see that bruise there, but it's pretty. I fell again. Got to go swimming. Oh my gosh. Getting back in a pool was therapeutic for me. I really miss swimming. Definitely going to look forward to that. Basically, the rest of the year is kind of planned out. Like, I've just got to pay bills, got to finish my dental work, got to finish my health work. Just kind of get through some stuff that's been going on. Clean up, consider, that was one thing. I was at a house and it's like 3,000 square feet and there's rooms that these people do not go into. And it annoyed, it was an immediate, trauma reaction. And talking about trauma reaction, one of the things I tried to do during this trip was not spend a lot of money. That was not so much unsuccessful as it was very disappointing, and also my adverse trauma reaction when somebody did spend a lot of money. I don't know how to describe it, but I was just so adverse to spending money on a meal. The prices, and that's one other thing. The only thing difference between Dallas, Texas, and San Francisco, California, is the weather and the gas prices. Groceries were the same. I was going to talk about food waste today, and maybe I'll come back on, another day and just do it really quickly. It is a real problem, food waste, and the food waste is by grocers, not so much by the homeowners or by the people buying the groceries. But I know for me, I have food waste, and that was something that I'll conquer this year too. I think the Amazon effect on grocery stores has happened. So what I mean by that, if you go into a Whole Foods, you see their wall of eggs. See how deep that wall is or how many crates they are. And they're about $5. Let's just put it at $5. Not everyone is going to buy $5 worth of eggs. Equal to that, on the flip side of it, the grower is being priced out or price pressured to not charge a dollar an egg or something like that. He's like pennies. He's like 2 or 3 pennies an egg. And for him to make a profit, he's got to sell 1 million eggs. Well, not everyone's buying 1 million eggs, because even at the hotel that I was at, we didn't have eggs. We had powdered eggs, which is a different product altogether, which is even lower margins for the manufacturer or the farmer. And that is yielding a lot of food waste. So I think I think we're going to come to a tipping point, especially now when we talk about carbonation. In the UK or Europe last year, maybe 2 years ago, they didn't have enough carbonation because that gas was basically run out. There was no carbonation. And so you were getting flat Cokes, and you were having to learn it. Where today it is the cost of the cocoa bean is going from, I think the farmers were getting $1 and we were being charged $3 or something like that. The farmers, rightly so, in these unique areas, their yields are so small that they're able to charge $5 or $6 for the cocoa bean. And they should be able to get a living wage from it. I remember there's another one, another food product that, people do not realize this does not grow all the time. This only grows in certain areas. It's really over manufactured. And I think we're racing towards where food scarcity is going to be a first world problem. It's not going to be just in remote regions. It's going to be in major cities like Saudi Arabia. It's going to be in major cities like London. It's going to be in major cities like San Francisco. So that does kind of bring up how to prevent that, how to prepare for it, and what eventually is going to happen. Whether it's growing your own food, and you eat what you grow, and what you grow is what you have to eat. I think that day, it's not coming tomorrow, but it's 20 years in the future, maybe, yeah, maybe by the time I'm 70, we're going to really come to a head on this. Remember, Ukraine is their biggest export and their biggest GDP item is grain. The reason Russia wants that is because grain is not grown in the Midwest of the United States anymore. It's grown in places like Ukraine. So the world food apex is really coming to an end, and we're going to see that. And in addition to that, 9 inches of rain in Houston is not good for fishing or oil production or anything. Sewage is going into the San Francisco Bay. When I was in Texas, I was at somebody's home, and I went to, because, again, I live in a bubble here in San Francisco. We turn on the faucet, we can drink the water. Literally, 2 people said, don't drink that water. Don't give that water to the dogs. It's poison. To think that, to have to experience that and to have to live in that mentality, you do get a little sideways on it, because I nearly broke the glass trying to go, what do you mean you can't drink the water out of the faucet? And they're like, no, that's poison. It's been tampered with either fuel or natural gas or some kind of propane propellant kind of thing. And like, I'm like, you're on a well. The whole reason to be on a well is so that you have your own water. Well, I guess the well's not good. I don't know. The I think the reality of that really hit home. When I saw my friends that had moved to Texas, they were exhausting. And I mean that in a good way. They were like, go, 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 you're here, let's visit, let's go see, let's go do. And I was not in the mindset, first off. Secondly, I had the worst jet lag. I was not sleeping. In fact, I didn't sleep today. I know insomnia is a perimenopause thing, but it really is. It is really painful, and I really do have problems sleeping, and I'm gonna figure it out, I guess. I think it was great. I think the other thing I learned was that I don't like to vacation in April. I always take a vacation in October. I don't know what it is. October just works for me. I have a better time. I'm more relaxed. I'm not thinking about what I have to do. I also didn't miss out on a ton of events. From San Luis Obispo Film Festival, San Francisco Film Festival, there was a chocolate festival, there was a wine festival. There was so much that I did not get to do because I was in Texas. And granted, it was great to volunteer and see family and drive around Texas. I'm not going back unless I have to, kind of thing. I mean, I didn't experience what I was hoping to experience. I got really sick. I got really jet lagged. And maybe I'll be better next time. But it was, it's like I tried to exercise as much as I could. I tried not to do things that would, like, I didn't drink. I did not have, I think I had one glass of wine. Maybe two. But I didn't, I wasn't interested. It was great to volunteer. It was great to see other people and to experience another town and to drive around the Metroplex like I did, to go to a baseball game. And it's really different there versus here. They have a dome. People, bring their kids. And the weather is a problem. It's not so much a problem. You just adapt to it. And like they said, an hour later, everything's fine. But that makes it an hour later. And, oh, that was the other thing. Oh my gosh. This was like probably the worst part of the entire trip. I had to use Google Maps, and I had to use it with my car. And I am kind of like, hey, I like to know where I'm going. I like to know what I'm doing. Hey, that exit, take that last one. Either because of T-Mobile internet service, either because there was a blocking, either because of whatever area I was in, the map feature didn't work. It really, like, it would say, okay, in 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 349. Well, exit 349 has 15 different names. Secondly, maybe I couldn't move over and 2 miles. A mile later, I still couldn't move over. I would have to miss that exit, do a reroute to get to that exit. And it was really frustrating. Equal to that, when connecting it to my car or to the car, if I had the audio off, I didn't hear it. And it was super frustrating. this, and this is a pronunciation thing. So, what's Walden and what's Walton? The street name was Walton, Walton, but the map kept on calling it Walden, Waldon. I spent 20 minutes, 30 minutes trying to figure that out. Now, granted, I'm not used to driving. Granted, I'm not used to the area. But that was really frustrating. And that really kind of took the fun out of driving. It was a frustration. And trying to give feedback was the worst. For all the AI technology, for all the mapping technology, something's called a spur, but it's really not called a spur. Something's called a President's Highway, but the line on it says DFW Airport or something like that, or this way to Waco, or this way to Austin, or McKinney. I kept on calling McKinley. That, again, it was me. And I just had frustrating experiences. Then driving at night. Okay, so one person got into my car and would talk about accidents that happened on that freeway. The first thing that person says to me, yeah. Not, hey, this is a fun ride. No, somebody got in an accident over here. This is where you can die. I'm like, what are you doing to me? It's like, that's not good. That's not good passenger. Backseat passenger. And again, just going to places, it wasn't fun to go to places when the traffic, and that was the other thing. When I say it's the same as Dallas-Fort Worth is the same as SFO, it's because of the traffic. Californians that moved to Texas, they brought traffic with them. I mapped out and looked at the maps for everywhere I was going, and everything was like 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. When I got into Texas, it was an hour 15, 45 minutes, would turn into an hour and 15. It was frustrating. It was really frustrating. And it made things difficult. I think I brought enough clothes with me. I just didn't bring enough clothes I could sweat through. On the humid days, those were really hard. I didn't get to enjoy Texas. It was great to see the flowers. It was great to do things, but I wasn't up for all the tourist stuff that I see on YouTube. I didn't go, saw the eye, went to the eye, left the eye. And taking a Lyft or an Uber was the same price as it was here in California. There was no difference. There was no savings. There was an event at the Eye and in downtown and at the museum, and I made the mistake of not reserving my ticket to go into the museum, so I couldn't go into the museum, and they wouldn't sell me one. They wouldn't let me buy one right online, and so granted, it was a bummer not to go to it, but at the same time, I was already exhausted and ready to go back to my hotel room and sleep. That was a thing. I would have loved to believe that things would be cheaper and better and bigger and all those other things. But I went into stores and they weren't cheaper and they weren't better and they weren't fancier, and it was really like, oh, you should have gone here, oh, you should have gone there. Well, going there was a 5-hour drive. Probably the third disappointment of the Texas trip is going into a local wine shop or going to a local restaurant and not seeing a Texas wine. Or seeing a Texas wine on the dessert menu. Yeah. I really wish I could distribute those wines. They're sincere winemakers. They're really good winemakers. The fact that they work so hard in such conditions, I was just kind of bummed by it. I know next time, if I do go, I fly into Austin and then drive to Fredericksburg and, stay 2 days in Austin, stay 2 days in Fredericksburg, and maybe drive up to Dallas and leave from there. It was fine to do, but I don't think that I will invest going to Dallas. I know going to a Dallas Cowboy game is a big thing. I'll probably plan that for next year. And also it will be probably in October because I don't want traveling in April. It's just it's a site. My psyche is like, I'm not able to relax. It's the beginning of the year. It's like I worked out. I spent a lot of time on a bike like I am now. I mean, just working out, just spending 20-25 minutes on a bike and working out. I think the last thing is that when I was outside and I had to walk between the car rental place and the hotel, which again was like perfect. The fresh air, I there was some fresh air, but when I got to San Francisco and to the BART station to change trains, it was real fresh air. It was like that ocean air. I'm definitely that. So, yes, I was born in Texas. But unless there's a recall for all the people that were born in Texas to go back to Texas, I'm just going to visit from now on. All right. That being said, I've got a few things planned. I'm still decluttering. I just got done decluttering a little bit this morning. I was looking for a sewing kit and couldn't find it for the life of me. Now I have it and I'm going to sew some stuff. Not too much more. Have to go grocery shopping. I will take you guys grocery shopping. Talk about how to buy groceries, maybe. Have you heard of Flash Plate or Flash Food? It's by, I think here locally, Lucky's is doing it, is participating in it. And you get a bag of groceries for $5. Pretty good. Too Good to Go is another way to stop, food waste. And I think, just kind of be good. I could talk about other stuff and maybe I will, but not right now. Okay. It's been 25 minutes or plus. I've been trying to do this, so I'm going to just go ahead and get this up and see you later. Bye.